I'm Nora. I'm 27 years old. And my mother and sister told me, no money, no party. I accepted it. I swallowed that bitter pill and told myself it was fine. Until I opened Facebook one ordinary afternoon and saw something that didn't just hurt me. It destroyed every last piece of trust one had left in my family. Please, if you're listening to this, like this video. Subscribe to Revenge Queens. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Because I need to know I'm not alone in this. I need to know that someone out there understands what it feels like to be thrown away by the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began. My family has always had this dynamic, this poisonous, suffocating dynamic where my mother and my sister Linda make all the decisions. Every single one. What we're doing for holidays. Where we're meeting. Who's invited. Who's not. And me? I'm just expected to fall in line. To nod. To smile. To contribute financially whenever they snap their fingers, but never to have an actual voice in anything that matters. I've always been the responsible one. The one who worked 2 jobs to help pay Mom's medical bills when she got sick 3 years ago. The one who sent money every month when Linda's husband lost his job. The one who showed up, no questions asked, whenever they needed something. But when it came to being included, when it came to being treated like I actually mattered, I was invisible. So when Linda announced that her daughter Emily was turning 7 and they were planning this huge birthday party, I already felt the dread creeping in. I knew what was coming. I could feel it in my bones. Linda sent a message in our family group chat. Emily's party is going to be amazing. We're thinking a princess theme, renting a venue, hiring an entertainer, the whole thing. Everyone needs to pitch in. And by everyone, she meant me. Because somehow, it's always me who's expected to open my wallet, even when I'm barely scraping by. I had just moved into a new apartment after finally leaving a toxic roommate situation. My car had broken down the month before, and the repair bill had wiped out my savings. I was living paycheck to paycheck, eating instant noodles for dinner, and trying to rebuild my life from scratch. I typed back carefully, trying to be honest, without sounding like I didn't care about my niece. I'm really tight on money right now. I can contribute what I can, maybe $50, and I'd love to help with setup or decorations instead. The response came fast. Too fast. Linda wrote. $50? That's insulting, Nora. This is your niece. If you can't contribute properly, maybe you shouldn't bother coming at all. My heart sank. But before I could even respond, my mother chimed in. Linda's right. This is family. Either you support family properly, or you don't come. No money, no party. Simple as that. No money, no party. Those words echoed in my head like a curse. I stared at my phone, reading and rereading that message, feeling the humiliation wash over me in waves. My own mother, my own sister, reducing my worth, my presence, my love for my niece to a dollar amount I couldn't afford. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell them how cruel they were being, how unfair, how heartless. But I didn't. Because I've learned over the years that fighting with them only makes things worse. They twist your words. They make you the villain. They gaslight you until you're questioning your own reality. So instead, I just typed, okay, I understand. I won't come. And that was it. I exiled myself from my own family because I couldn't afford their price of admission. The days that followed were some of the loneliest of my life. The family group chat kept buzzing with messages, everyone excitedly planning the party, talking about decorations and cake flavors and games. I watched those messages pile up, every notification a little stab to the heart, but I didn't respond. What could I possibly say? I wasn't welcome anymore. Linda started posting on social media too. Little comments here and there. So blessed to have family that actually shows up when it matters. And you really find out who cares about your kids when it's time to celebrate them. Every post felt like it was aimed directly at me, even though she never mentioned my name. She didn't have to. I knew. And I'm sure everyone else in our family knew too. I tried to reach out privately. I sent Linda a message explaining my financial situation in detail, hoping she'd understand. I told her about the car repair, the move, the medical bill I was still paying off from an emergency room visit 6 months ago. I told her I loved Emily with all my heart and that I'd do anything to be there, but I genuinely didn't have the money they were demanding. She read the message. I saw the read receipt, but she never replied. That silence said everything. I messaged my mother too, hoping she'd be the voice of reason. Mom, please. This isn't fair. I'm struggling right now. Can't you understand that? She responded with just one sentence. Life is hard for everyone, Nora. You need to figure it out. Figure it out. As if I hadn't been figuring it out my entire adult life. As if I hadn't sacrificed and struggled and worked myself to exhaustion trying to be there for this family. And now, when I needed just a little grace, just a little understanding, I was being discarded like trash. The embarrassment was crushing. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying their words in my mind, wondering what I had done to deserve this. Wondering if I was being unreasonable. Wondering if maybe I really was the problem. My mental state spiraled. I felt worthless. Disposable. Like I'd never been truly loved at all. If you're still watching this and you haven't subscribed to Revenge Queens, please hit that subscribe button right now. And if you refuse, at least leave a comment and tell me why. I genuinely want to understand. Because I'm laying my heart bare here, and I need to know it matters to someone. 2 weeks passed. The party was happening that Saturday, and I had made peace with staying home. Or, at least, I was trying to. I spent that morning cleaning my apartment, trying to distract myself, trying not to think about Emily opening presents without me there. Trying not to imagine my mother and sister laughing together, not missing me at all. Then, out of boredom, or maybe masochism, I opened Facebook. Just scrolling mindlessly through my feed, not really paying attention. And then I saw it. A photo. Posted by Linda. Just 30 minutes ago. My blood ran cold. It was a picture of the party. Emily in a beautiful princess dress, surrounded by balloons and streamers and a massive cake shaped like a castle. The venue was decorated beautifully. Pink and gold everywhere, fairy lights strung across the ceiling, a throne set up for photos. It looked magical. It looked expensive. It looked exactly like the party I had suggested in the group chat weeks ago, down to the smallest details. I scrolled down. More photos. Videos. My mother laughing with relatives. Linda posing with Emily, both of them beaming. Cousins, aunts, uncles, everyone I knew, all celebrating together. And then I saw the caption on Linda's post. The best day ever. So grateful for real family, who show up when it counts. Real family. The implication was clear. I wasn't real family. I hadn't shown up. I was the failure. The disappointment. The one who didn't care enough. But it was the comments that really gutted me. Someone wrote, "Where's Nora?" And Linda responded, "She couldn't make it. Guess some people have different priorities." Another comment, "Too bad, she missed this. Emily was asking for her." Linda's response, "Yeah, well, you can't force people to care." I was shaking. My hands were trembling so badly, I almost dropped my phone. They had used my ideas. The pink and gold theme? I suggested that. The photo throne setup? I sent Linda a Pinterest board with that exact idea. The playlist I could hear playing in the background of the videos? I made that. I spent hours curating songs that Emily loved. They stole everything from me, excluded me, humiliated me publicly, and then painted me as the villain who didn't care. And the worst part? I could see extended family members in those photos. People I hadn't even known were invited. People who weren't asked to contribute a dime. This was never about money. This was about them not wanting me there. And they used my financial struggles as a weapon to justify it. I couldn't just sit there with that knowledge burning inside me. I needed answers. I needed to understand why. So I reached out to my cousin Jessica, someone I'd always been close to, someone I thought I could trust. I sent her a simple message. "Hey, can I ask you something about Emily's party?" She called me immediately. And the second I heard her voice, I could tell she knew something. "Nora, I'm so sorry," she said before I could even ask my question. "I wanted to tell you, but I didn't know how." "Tell me what?" My voice was barely a whisper. Jessica took a deep breath. Linda planned to exclude you from the beginning, like weeks before the party. She told everyone in the family that you were being difficult and unsupportive. She said you'd been acting jealous of her and Emily, and that you were always trying to steal attention at family events. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach.
What?
That's insane. That's not true at all. I know, Jessica said quietly. But she convinced Mom. She showed her some old texts where you disagreed about something stupid, I don't even remember what, and she spun it into this whole narrative that you were toxic and jealous. Mom backed her up completely. They decided you weren't invited, but they needed an excuse that wouldn't make them look bad. So they came up with the money thing. They knew you were struggling financially, and they used it against you. I couldn't breathe. I literally couldn't breathe. Everything I'd believed, everything I'd tried to rationalize, it was all a lie. They didn't exclude me because of money. They excluded me because they wanted to. Because Linda felt threatened by me. Because my mother chose her golden child over me, like she always has. There's more, Jessica continued, her voice pained. There was a group chat. Without you in it. Linda was making jokes about you being broke. About how you always play the victim and can never just be happy for other people. Mom was laughing along. Some of the other relatives were too. I left the chat because it made me sick, but Nora, they were cruel. Really cruel. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Jessica had just sent me screenshots. Screenshots of that secret group chat. And there it was in black and white. Messages from Linda. Nora is so dramatic. She acts like she's the only one who's ever struggled with money. My mother's response. She's always been like that. Everything has to be about her. Another message from Linda. Honestly, Emily's party will be better without her negative energy. Let her sit at home and feel sorry for herself. I read every single message. Every joke. Every insult. Every casual cruelty. And with each one, something inside me broke. But something else? Something else started to harden. Started to calcify into something stronger than sadness. I was angry. No, I was furious. I was done. Before I continue this story, I need you to subscribe to Revenge Queens. Please. Unless you're like my sister, and you enjoy watching someone struggle without supporting them. Unless you think it's okay to betray family and walk away without consequences. If you have any decency, any sense of justice, hit that subscribe button right now. I didn't respond to the family for days. I didn't cry anymore either. Something had shifted in me. I realized that I had spent years trying to earn love from people who were never going to give it. I had been pouring from an empty cup, sacrificing myself for people who saw me as disposable. And I was done. Completely done. Instead of wallowing, I made a decision. I was going to focus on me. On my life. On my future. I picked up extra shifts at work. I started a side hustle selling handmade crafts on Etsy, something I'd always wanted to do, but never had the confidence to try. I threw myself into building something that was mine, something they couldn't touch or taint or take credit for. And you know what? It worked. Within 2 months, my Etsy shop was making decent money. Within 4 months, I got a promotion at my day job. I moved into a better apartment. I started going to therapy to unpack all the trauma my family had inflicted on me. I made new friends, real friends who valued me, who supported me, who didn't measure my worth in dollar signs. My life was actually getting better. And I didn't share any of it with my family. I stopped posting on social media, where they could see. I stopped responding to the occasional superficial messages they'd send. I went completely silent. And it felt like freedom. But then, predictably, they noticed. Linda started texting me. Casual at first. Hey stranger, haven't heard from you in a while. Then more persistent. Is everything okay? You've been so quiet. Then concerned. Mom is worried about you. Can you please just let us know you're alive? My mother called me multiple times. I let every call go to voicemail. She left messages. Nora, this is ridiculous. Whatever you're upset about, you need to get over it. We're family. Family. That word had lost all meaning to me. Then Linda sent a message that made my blood boil. I saw your Etsy shop. It's doing well. I'm so proud of you. We should talk soon. I have some ideas for how you could expand it. Of course. Now they wanted to talk. Now that I was succeeding. Now that there was something they could benefit from. They hadn't cared when I was struggling. They hadn't cared when I was drowning. But the second I started thriving without them, suddenly I was worth their attention again. I knew what I had to do. I couldn't keep ignoring them forever, and I couldn't move forward until I confronted what they'd done. So I agreed to meet them. My mother, Linda, and me. At a coffee shop, neutral territory, where I could leave whenever I wanted. I walked into that coffee shop with screenshots printed out in a folder. Every cruel message. Every lie. Every joke at my expense. I sat down across from them, and they smiled at me like nothing had ever happened. Like they hadn't shattered me completely just months ago. Nora, honey, we've missed you so much, my mother said, reaching across the table to touch my hand. I pulled away. I'm not here for a reunion, I said, my voice steady and cold. I'm here to show you exactly what you did to me. I opened the folder and spread the screenshots across the table. Their faces went pale. Linda's smile disappeared. My mother's eyes darted across the pages, reading her own words, her own cruelty reflected back at her. Where did you get these? Linda whispered, her voice shaking. Does it matter? I asked. Is anything here untrue? Did you not plan to exclude me from Emily's party weeks in advance? Did you not mock my financial struggles in a group chat? Did you not use no money, no party as an excuse to justify throwing me away? Silence. Heavy, suffocating silence. It wasn't like that, Linda finally said, but her voice had no conviction. You're taking it out of context. Context. I laughed bitterly. Please, explain the context where it's okay to treat your sister like garbage. I'm listening. My mother tried to interject. Nora, we were frustrated. You have to understand. No. I cut her off. I don't have to understand anything. You need to understand that you humiliated me. You excluded me. You lied to me. You weaponized my struggles against me. And then, when I finally started succeeding without you, when I finally started building a life that made me happy, you came crawling back. Not because you missed me. Not because you loved me. But because you wanted something from me again. Linda's eyes were filling with tears, but I felt nothing. No sympathy. No guilt. Nothing. I'm sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. I interrupted. You meant every word. You meant to hurt me. You meant to make me feel small. And you succeeded. For a while. But I'm not small anymore. I'm not the desperate, broke family member you can push around and discard when it's convenient. My mother looked genuinely shocked, like she couldn't believe I was standing up to them. This is your family, Nora. You can't just walk away from family. I stood up, gathering the screenshots, looking down at both of them. You're right. Blood makes us related. But respect makes us family. And you've shown me absolutely no respect. So, you're not my family anymore. You're just people I used to know. People who taught me exactly how not to treat the people I love. I walked out of that coffee shop with my head held high, and I never looked back. It's been 8 months since that confrontation. 8 months of peace. 8 months of boundaries. 8 months of finally putting myself first. My mother and Linda have both tried reaching out a few times, emails, texts, even a card in the mail. But I haven't responded. I don't owe them my forgiveness. I don't owe them another chance to hurt me. My Etsy shop is thriving. I've made genuine friendships with people who celebrate my wins and support me through my struggles. I'm in therapy, working through the years of damage, learning to love myself in ways my family never did. And you know what? I'm happy. Genuinely, deeply happy. For the first time in my life. I think about Emily sometimes. I hope she grows up knowing she's loved. I hope she never has to experience the conditional, transactional love that I grew up with. But I can't be in her life if it means subjecting myself to her mother's toxicity and my mother's enabling. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. If this story touched you, if you've ever been made to feel less than by the people who are supposed to lift you up, please subscribe to Revenge Queens. Like this video. Comment, and tell me where you're watching from. Tell me your story. Tell me I'm not alone in this. Because healing happens when we share our truth. And my truth is this. I deserved better. I always deserved better. And I'm finally giving that to myself. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me be seen and heard in a way my own family never could. This is Nora, and this is my story. And I'm done apologizing for surviving.